Hello from Shalom Acres. We're looking at what was once a beautiful and tall grape plant. And I say what was once because it can still be that way again. But this is the third time deer have come through here and plucked them off. You can look at that one. You can look at that one. This one here, they managed to keep a few leaves on. Go to the next one, nothing. You can see the pie pans in the back that I had up till I just cut the grass to try to make some noise. You can see this one here, all eaten off. Basically out of the whole pile, I've had everyone eaten off now 2, if not 3 times. And at first they left alone the muscadines, but now they're even eating them off. So I'm not sure what's going on. So I'll talk to you a minute about what we're doing to try to combat this. Okay, so now you can look in front of me here and see there's a fence controller, little solar powered unit. It's bought from Harbor Freight. I forget what the model number is on it, but it's if you look on their website, it's one of the ones that you can get for like $70. So it's not an expensive unit. But for what we're trying to accomplish, I think it's going to work. So before I go through this and talk about what I did, I want to go ahead and state that I'm not an electrician, nor should my advice, I guess, be followed from an electrical standpoint. But I'm going to go through what I did and show you what successes we had as far as for setting this unit up. So first off the black terminal here, went ahead and ran down. I got a 10 gauge line. I ran down to a grounding rod. I didn't have a grounding clamp, so I went ahead and just put on 2 hose clamps, made sure it was nice and clean. Later on I may come back in and put in the grounding clamp. But I drove this in the ground 7 feet, and if some of you have seen us drive stuff in the ground here, getting that in the ground 7 feet took me about a half an hour. Off the positive side here, come down again, 10 gauge wire. Brought it down here to a wooden post. And in that wooden post, not particularly on this one, because I already had it insulated on there. I came down here, stripped out a small section of the wire, and then put on just a connector type that's actually used for electrical to go ahead and crimp that in. I don't know if you can see it real well, but the wire's crimped into there and the copper's right behind it. I just did that for both lines, so you can see it right there. And as you saw, I had wooden fence or wooden posts that I used. So on those wooden posts, I actually have a rubber grommet in each and every one of these, so that way they're isolated off. And we did use a 14 gauge aluminum wire, and we ran a double strand all the way around. Set up ourselves a little gate here so we can pull this off and get it set up to work. And what we've had it done now, we've had this controller sitting out in the sun now this is its 5th day. It took a little bit longer to power up, I think, than what I would like, but I think we're finally making some progress. And I think here's what one of the problems I had was on it. When you power it up, there's this indicator light right here, and but this light has never come on. So they told me I could take it back and get a refund for it. I may do that, but for right now I just want to prove that it's working. So hooked up my little voltmeter, saw that I did have some pulsing coming in and out of the from the positive and the ground side. And now I've got a little meter here. It's just to check our voltage. It's set up on amps. We'll just change it over to kilovolts. And we'll set it on here and see what we're getting. So 2.3, 2.4, 2.8, 3.1. So this unit is supposed to have, they said, around 8,000 kilovolts, plus or minus 2,000. So I would have expected this to probably be more in the 4 to 5 range. But I looked up online and they said for typically holding in cattle you needed between the 2 to 3 kilovolts. So I guess I'm not too worried. But, you know, I don't know. Those grapes must be pretty tasty for the deer to come back 3 different times and just completely clean them out. So we're going to try this little tester, see how it works. Hopefully this gives you an idea if you're going to set up something similar. Because I looked on YouTube and I couldn't find anybody as far as that gave any instructions on this. So I just kind of read the instructions and talked to a couple friends that had electric fencing, including this little tester they let me borrow, which was a great blessing, and just really decided to test it out and see if we could make it work. If you look on the going all the way around, so somebody's going to say those wooden posts aren't good, but obviously those rubber grommets are working because we are seeing the same on both top and bottom. So hopefully we'll have some luck keeping the deer out, and hopefully we won't have any problems with the sun getting getting this little charge controller set up as far as keeping it powered up. If we do, we'll have to come up with something different because we definitely want some grapes on the homestead, and we're not going to allow a few animals to deter us, because at the end of the day, I mean, I'll be honest, I want the animals to be able to eat too. I just want them to choose different things to eat. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share with others. Shalom.